About a month or so ago on this channel, I talked about how Texas Governor Greg Abbott passed a bill that gives state officials authority to arrest and deport illegal immigrants. And as a result, many Democratic opponents of Governor Abbott, as well as the Biden administration as a whole, decided to misrepresent it and just paint him as anti-immigrant, when the reality was that he was doing more to solve the border crisis than many other people in the United States. Well, since Governor Abbott couldn't have the support of anybody else, he decided to take matters even further. In case you didn't know, Eagle Pass is a city in Texas that sits on the Rio Grande River, which divides Texas and Mexico. And recently, Governor Abbott signed an emergency declaration to seize control of Eagle Pass, as he deployed the Texas National Guard to prevent Border Patrol agents from entering the area by installing razor wire fences, which you wouldn't have had to do had we had the immigration crisis under control, as the number of illegal immigrants that haven't been detained has risen from 3.6 million to over 6 million since Biden took office in 2021. And simply put, the Texans are sick of having to bear the brunt of it. Now, in response to Governor Abbott trying to enforce some law and order to really show that the Biden administration seems to be working against him, U.S. Border Patrol agents started cutting through the wire, which initially the courts halted their ability to do it. However, in a turn of events, the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 that the Border Patrol agents' cutting of said wire is actually allowed, which to me is a load of crap because that sends the message that states do not have the right to protect itself. Well, it's explicitly written in the Constitution that states do have the right to defend itself against invasion. Now, if you think that Abbott backed down after this, you're in for a real surprise because on January 24th, 2024, he made a statement highlighting how Biden has failed to enact his duties to secure the border, how he's even gone further to instruct federal agencies to go against that duty, which has enticed people to ignore legal immigration, citing the Constitution, which reserves the state's right to self-defense, declaring an invasion, and even more so, despite being told not to put up the wire, they've reinstalled it. As Charlie Kirk said, they are holding the line. I mean, it's like, just when you think that Governor Abbott could not get any more badass, he manages to deliver one of the biggest screw yous to the federal administration. And what's more, he's even garnered the support of other states. As governor of Virginia, Glenn Youngkin stood behind Governor Abbott. Governor Noem of South Dakota made a statement in support of Texas. And even Governor Kevin Stitt of Oklahoma is considering sending its National Guard to stand up against the government.
The former president, Donald Trump, has suggested to all the Republican governors out there, send members of your state's National Guard. In your case, Governor, it would be the Oklahoma National Guard. Send them down to Texas to help Greg Abbott. Are you going to do that?
Absolutely. You know, I've done it once before, and we're looking. I already talked to my TAG, my General Mancino. We've already started putting the numbers together. We'll be in contact with Governor Abbott.
Now, other states have joined in as well, and this shows that they're standing up for the ideals of this country. Because when the Constitution was ratified, one of the principles was to check the federal government should they become too powerful. And with what's going on at the border, it appears that opponents of Abbott want that to happen. As Texas Democratic Representative Joaquin Castro called for the president to federalize the Texas National Guard, and Democratic Congressman Greg Kasar is standing behind Castro's statement. And then you have former Representative Beto O'Rourke citing 1957, when Dwight Eisenhower federalized the Arkansas National Guard, saying that Biden should utilize that precedent, referring to 1957, when Governor Faubus of Arkansas utilized the National Guard to prevent 9 black kids from being permitted to enter a high school, also known as the Little Rock Nine, and as a result, President Eisenhower federalized the Arkansas National Guard, which was completely different because that was a governor that was refusing to comply with desegregation laws. And I find it very hilarious when people do this. They try to use irrelevant comparisons to make a point and they think they did something, but in reality, people are smart enough to see through that bullcrap. And not that I'm surprised at all, but it's no wonder why civil war was trending on X this week. Because it can be inevitable that civil war happens when you have a federal government that is overstepping their boundaries and the states stand up for themselves and invoke their rights, then there's calls to have their powers seized. But Governor Abbott in Texas is staying strong and holding the line, as this week there will be a convoy of 700,000 truckers lining up the southern border. This convoy aims to send a message to local, state, and federal officials and law enforcement that they need to close the border and deport all of the illegal immigrants in its plan to shine a spotlight on open borders. Which sometimes it takes a loud noise to open up deaf ears, but I'm sad in its own way that it's gotten to this point. And if this does result in a civil war, it'll be ironic in its own way because one of the results of the Civil War in 1860s was the passing of the 14th Amendment, which guarantees citizens' rights that cannot be abridged. And when you have mass influxes of illegal immigrants, that can abridge citizens' rights in more ways than one. And that's why this is so pivotal to the future of our country. We've become so polarized that it seems that the Constitution suddenly means nothing to some people. So with that, please wake up to what's going on around you. The Founding Fathers did not intend for the federal government to become so powerful that the states, and even the people for that matter, are rendered powerless. Now, this isn't anti-immigrant in any way. This country was founded by and large by immigrants, and that is a beautiful thing. But another beautiful thing that holds this country together is adherence to laws and strong borders, because a country without borders is no country at all. This is what this is about, and it seems that in all of this, that Governor Abbott understands this. So with that, I stand with Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel, hopefully I've earned a subscription. Here's some videos for you to watch in the meantime. Until next time, peace out.